Okay. Hi, guys. Hello, guys.
Just
I
wait.
just want to welcome you all to my second presentation, actually, on Courtesy Award. So I'm going to say happy Sabbath. I'm going to say good afternoon. And I'm going to say to you, welcome. This is me just trying to use my manners, which we call courtesy. A little bit about me. I am a Pathfinder director for a club called Dagenham Eagles in the South England Conference of the in the United Kingdom. So I just want to welcome you as I work alongside the BUC to deliver this amazing offer to you. Thank you.
Dionne, thank you so much for this. It is great to have you with us again. Just for your information, because you have a beautiful chair that moves, we'll need to ask you not to move the chair because your face goes a little bit blurry.
All right.
Yes, my apology for that. So let us bow our heads and let us pray, and we're going to go to Courtesy Adventure Award. Dear God, thank you so much for the time we can be together. We pray a special blessing upon our adventures. For everybody who is watching from this beautiful union, but also from many other countries of this world, we ask, dear God, that you send your Holy Spirit to all of them, that you touch their hearts and minds. And dear God, as they're learning about courtesy, that we are praying that they can truly learn about you, Jesus. And now I want to ask, dear God, touch the lips of Dionne as she teaches. And we are asking, dear Jesus, come soon. In the name of our Lord and Savior, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Dionne, it is time for us to go. So please share your screen. And then we're going to go to Courtesy Adventure Award. Here it is. Dionne, we can see it well.
Okay. Great, guys.
Excellent.
Well, as I said, today we're going to be looking at the Courtesy Award. And hopefully we're going to be explaining to you what courtesy means. You'll be doing some reciting and explaining alongside myself. And I will be helping you to demonstrate some good table manners. And also in using your good telephone manners. So we'll be doing some sharing of experiences as well as showing some acts of courtesy. Okay. So this slide just summarizes what we've said. So let's just go into courtesy. Courtesy, what does that mean to you and I? Well, Dionne, I want to believe everyone has it, but you know what? Not everybody uses it. Would you agree?
Yeah, well, also, let's ask the questions. When Dionne said courtesy, what was the first word that came to your mind? If you wouldn't mind, put it in the chat rooms on in the Zoom and also on Facebook. Let's have a look, and I will give you some feedback on that, what they think first when they hear word courtesy.
That sounds like a good idea. All right, whilst they're doing that, I'll just share with you as I wait to hear those fantastic remarks.
All right, Dionne, we started having some people started posting. People said first thing that came to their mind was manners.
Wow.
Respect.
Wow.
People said the first thing that came to their mind was a word please and thank you. Many mentioned. Well, I actually think that that we are agreeing that politeness is probably the underlying tone of this.
Wow.
And respect, somebody said.
I'm agreeing with that. I'm really agreeing with that. So I think what I'm going to suggest here is that indeed they're all right. I like the answers. I like those answers. And I think we will go with this one. I believe it's definitely good manners. And thumbs up for that. And I'd also want to suggest it's considering other people's feelings and being kind. I think I've heard that word coming through as well, being kind and being that kind of person that others will like and respect. So courtesy involves quite a lot, doesn't it? Involves things like sharing, being helpful to others, and yes, saying please and thank yous, not grabbing things and keeping things, and also respecting other people's property, even your rooms, you know. It's also helping people around the home, like mom and dad, grandma, granddad, and doing chores, cleaning your room, and also making sure that you look presentable. It's about sharing and being polite. Now, there's a golden rule that goes with that. I wonder if anyone out there, Diane, actually knows this golden rule I'm thinking of. What do you think?
I don't know. So Dionne, phrase the question again for everybody. So what is the golden rule of what? Tell them.
Oh, we're looking at courtesy.
Oh,
I believe there is a golden rule. I believe there's a word out there that says, always do unto others as you would wish them do to you.
and you're right. So many managed to post that in the comments on both platforms.
Wow, well done. Give yourself a clap. Well done, guys. Give yourself a huge clap. Well done.
People are saying that to put others in front of themselves and
Definitely.
more for others.
Definitely. So what is really about doing unto others as you would have them do unto you. And it's about sharing and giving that respect. It's also about getting respect. So the cycle of giving and receiving is very much a part of courtesy, doing unto others as you would have them do unto you. I want to do a little test. I don't know how many little voices we have out there, but I'd love for them to try and recite with me this little golden rule. Can we have a try on this? Let's hear from those guys who may be from, say, let's take the Maiden Town, the South London Conference. I have those guys out there.
There are quite a few people there.
There's quite a few. All right. So if we just possibly just let them all have a shout and then we continue. How's that then, Dionne? Do you think we can manage that?
I don't think we can manage that. But
all right.
If somebody wants to put a hand up, maybe I can try to see them and they can read it for us.
Okay, that sounds like a good idea.
Grace,
3 hands raised.
Grace, try.
Okay, we'll take the 3 hands.
Yeah, I can. Just give me a second, Dionne. Grace and Nathaniel, try read it for us.
Do to others as you would have them do to you.
Well done. Well done. Well read.
Nathaniel. Thank you.
Thank you. So that's basically us reciting our golden rule. Always do to others as you would wish them do to you if you were in their place. I think it's a wonderful rule that we all can live by. And as we move to the next section of our slide, I'd just like us to think about this. Anyone hungry? Nah. All right. This is about setting the table. Now, in setting the table, I got a few things nearby. You might need a spoon. You might need a knife. You might need a fork. Yeah. You might even need a bowl.
All right.
Possibly a plate. But whatever it is, I'd like you to decipher which utensils we have here today.
All right.
Wow.
So,
can we have some hands raised on this? I'm going to do some pointing with my mouse.
All right. There is a hand there. There is a hand there. But
okay.
Let me just see. All right. Here it is. Here it is.
Are you going to release someone for me?
I'm trying. It's not as easy as it sometimes seems. Oh, I don't even. Oh, this is not good.
Okay, then I'll run along.
Yes.
Okay, guys, I know you can spell with me at home, so I can see some of your faces. So let's do some spelling. So this one is a knife. Well done. K-N-I-F-E, knife. Well done. That's a knife. This one is a spoon. S-P-O-O-N, spoon. Here's my spoon. I've got a fork here. This one is a fork. There it is. F-O-R-K, fork. Then we got a plate. P-L-A-T-E, plate. Then there's a glass. G-L-A-S-S, glass. Well done. The next one is a cup. Well done. You guys are spelled it. C-U-P, cup. Well done. So in setting a table, this is basically what we're looking at. So this is what I'm going to leave you as the homework to think about when you're setting a dining table for eating your dinner. What would you need? You'd need a teaspoon, you'd need a knife, you need a plate, possibly a charger, not a phone charger, or it could be a soup bowl in here, and you need a fork and a napkin. I've got a little napkin, may not look as fancy, but sometimes we make it a little bit fancy, and it looks kind of like this. Don't know if you'll see it. Can you see it? And so I'll be showing you how to use a napkin, which is basically to take the napkin ring off, open it up. It's gonna take up the whole of the screen. When you get a napkin, you shake it out and you put it on your lap. Now you're ready to eat. All right, so let's just go through this again. What would you think we need for setting the table? We need a spoon, we need a knife. The spoon is also for desserts, you know, for apple pies or our ice creams. We also have our knife, we have our plate, we have our fork, our napkin. Sometimes we may have, this little circle could represent a soup bowl for the spoon to be used with it. And then we have our knife and a bread plate. We have the cup, or it could be a glass. You may have the spoon, the knife. This may be your bowl. This may be your plate, your knife, and your serviette. I'm going to show you another setting, quite fancy. And I'm going to go through this very quickly now. And this is another one. These will be there for you to draw when you're finished with this session at home.
Also, Dionne, before, let me just make sure that everybody's, is it that a part of requirement for them to draw the setting?
You do need to know how to set a table. So I've left it for you to draw whichever design you choose when you're setting your table for dinner, not for breakfast, for dinner. Is that all right?
Yep.
Okay. Now this bit is not quite in the award, but I thought, how could we get to the other end without understanding table manners? Because it's also part of courtesy. So I'm just going to share with you some of the things that I think is important. Now, I'm not sure if anyone could, if I could just have a couple of hands up and just to read this. Would you be able to manage this, Dionne? We've got 6 hands. Oh, we'll take the 6 hands that's raised. Only the 6 hands.
All right.
So the first.
Let me try to find somebody. Okay.
All right, so we got 6 hands there.
All right,
now,
give me a second. So let me deal with the kids on. Okay, Tiffany, we have a hand next to Tiffany, so I'm gonna unmute Tiffany if I can.
Okay, what I'd like these 6 hands to do is I'll read and then they'll read after me. At least reading the blue lines, then that will help us to move a bit quicker. All right?
Give me a second. Here it is. Ezra. Are you able Ezra, are you able to read the first 2 lines?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Wash hands before eating. Wear clean clothes to the table.
Well done. Well done.
Samuel, let's try Samuel. Samuel.
No choice. What? No.
So if you read the 3rd and the 4th line.
Yeah.
All right.
Well done. So I've placed my napkin on my lap. Well done. Right. Thank you, Samuel.
So let me see who is there. I need to say, here it is. Mornit Tarate. Well, if you read lines, stay at the table, and then second one after that.
Stay at the table until finished. Lean over your plate.
Thank you so much.
You read that so beautifully. Well done for that. Let me just see, is anybody else there who we can unmute quickly to read?
Have you got Grace?
We don't have Grace. Hansel, are you able to read for us? So Hansel, line starts with chew with?
Chew with your mouth closed.
Well done.
And then read the next one.
Don't talk with food in your mouth.
Very good.
Excellent, excellent. My friend, if you can mute your microphone. Okay, here's Claudine. Claudine, are you ready to read for us? Give me a second. Here it is, Claudia. Read next 2 lines.
Say excuse me when you
Burp.
And the next line.
say excuse me when you burp.
And
Don't splur food or drinks.
Well done.
Well done. And now I see somebody whose name I cannot pronounce for sure, but would you be able to read it for us?
Say, wipe your mouth with a napkin.
I'll just do that.
And?
Clean your spot at the table.
All right, I've just done that. Well done, well done. Give yourselves a clap. Well done, guys. You've been fantastic.
There is one more line, Dionne, and that's the last line. And why you don't read it that for us?
Always say please and thank you.
Excellent.
Fantastic. Fantastic, guys. Now that we've covered the table manners, we go back into our next slide, which is currently pass or currently ask for and pass the food. Now, I'm just going to go through very quickly how this can be done. Now, I've got some utensils with me, but in some cultures, they pass from right to left, and in others from left to right. When you pass from left to right, it's called counterclockwise. So this is me, this is my right hand. So it goes this way. Yeah, the other way it goes this way when you're passing. All right, so this slide is just to underpin what I've just done, that we pass the food around the table in a particular way. And when we do pass it in a particular way, there are just 3 steps that I want to share with you this afternoon about how to ask and pass when someone's asked for you to pass the food. So when someone asks of you, please pass the rice. You'll take the rice bowl and you pass it nicely. Even if you wanted to have rice at that time, we exercise courtesy. So we allow the person before who's asked to take the item and place it on their plate before you actually take yours. So you continue passing the item. If the person besides is not the person who requested it first, you keep passing, like passing the parcel, until it reaches the person who's asked for it. And then you refrain from helping yourself along the way before the person who asked for it actually gets the chance. Once that person gets the chance to help themselves, you politely ask, please may I have some rice? And then the bowl will be passed back to you. Now, I'm going to give you a minute to try this at home. Please just say after me, please pass the rice.
Please pass the rice.
That's easy to say at home, all on your own. Oh, well done. And please may I have the rice?
And please may I have the rice?
Please may I have the rice?
Thank you so much. And this is just another language. Whilst you're waiting for the rice, you pause with your cutlery. I'm showing you how you can use your cutlery to speak, to give a language. There's a language in using your cutlery at the table when you're exercising good table manners. People may call it etiquette. That's a big word for us. We just stick with courtesy because this is a courtesy award. So when you're ready for seconds, there's another way of doing it. It's basically using your knife pointing to the left and your fork pointing north and the handle pointing south. When we're looking at, this food is excellent, I might just need some more, I might just need some seconds, everything is pointing to your right. The knife is under the fork in the direction which I've shown you on the screen. And when you're finished, the knife and fork sit side by side, the fork being to the left, the right would be your knife, and it's in that position. When we're looking at, may not really like this, I might as well finish. So may not really like this, the knife actually goes into the fork, I'm not really liking this, and then you actually finish as shown on the screen in the finished position.
Just to let you know, before we continue, You know, in my house, you know, you can put the fork and the knife anywhere you want, but you still have to finish the plate. So to adventurers, I would suggest you to not use this because that mom and dad of yours cooked that so hard. So we need to finish the plate for sure.
Definitely, definitely, definitely. And if you see my finished plate, Dionne, there's nothing left on the plate. So we're just encouraging young people to eat everything mom and dad gives you, okay? It's good stuff. It's good stuff. So once you're finished eating, there's a way of excusing yourself from the table. Let's look at that properly now. I'm just going to look at that very briefly, how we properly excuse ourselves from the table. Now, what do you think out there? How do you excuse yourself from the table? Any thoughts on that, Dionne?
As we cannot activate too many people talking, maybe you should just take us. What is the right way, Dionne?
Okay, I think, you know what? Sometimes it's better to just say, thank you for the meal. Now, my husband and I had a toss-up on this because children are honest. And if they don't like the food, they're not going to say it's delicious. So I won't encourage you to say, it was delicious, but if it's genuinely delicious, thank you for the meal. It was really delicious. But to excuse yourself from the table, I would want to suggest you do this. Excuse me, please, from the table. And to do that, you place your napkin. Remember, I was talking about the napkin. You can literally place it beside your plate, as shown in the slide. And you can also just leave it on the chair as you get up. So you place the napkin next to your plate, if you so desire, and you wait for the host to indicate the meal is complete. Then you stand up. I'm going to stand up. I am moving. You stand up. You push your chair in. And you thank your host. I'm sitting back now. I'm sorry. I'm moving around. You thank your host for a delicious meal. If it was obviously delicious, but if not, just say, thank you for the meal. Yeah? And so we move on. So I won't get you to practice this. I think there's quite a lot of you who got the hang of this. And so we're just going to move on to making a telephone call. Now I've got a sort of a dummy phone call here. I've got a landline sort of a gimmick here. So hello, boys and girls. I hope you're all having a good time out there listening to the Courtesy Award. We're now going to make a call, a telephone call to an adult, and I'm just going to explain how we do this in 3 little steps.
Dionne, as you were doing this phone call, which was very important, somebody said about the golden rule in the school when it comes to meals is to tuck in a chair after they finish. What is your stand on that?
That is very true. Tucking in a chair when you're finished is very important because at least we know that you are finished, but also it's going to be a safe, it's less of a risk. When you're walking past a chair that's stuck out, you could easily trip or fall over, or someone come with their dinner, could spill their dinner, and there could be an accident. A very, very ugly picture, I would say. So it's always safe to push the chair in so one doesn't trip over the chair. Is that all right?
Excellent, thank you.
Okay, now we're going to look at the telephone call. How to make a telephone call to an adult that you know. Now, when making a telephone call to an adult, I was going to test this, but for now, I'm just going to go 3, 2, 1. Hello, can I speak to Mr. Dionne, please?
Yes, you can. Dionne here.
Hello, my name is Ashiwa.
Ashiwa, nice to meet you. How can I help you?
And then you stop because you're already giving away too much, guys. Whenever making a phone call, sometimes it's best not giving away your name unless you know the person very well. So if you don't know the person, you should not be making that phone call. So that's the first thing about making making a telephone call to an adult that you know. Sometimes you think you know them, but you may not be allowed permission to make that phone call. So always check with your mom, your dad before you make a phone call to any adult because your safety comes first. Phone call or never go on a telephone without letting an adult or parent in your home know that you're making that phone call. Is that okay with everyone?
If it is okay, If it's okay, write it down. Yes, we want to know
Okay.
if it's okay with you.
Now, let's make a telephone call to a friend. But before we do that, I just want to say something here. Some of you may make a telephone call to an adult, and it may be grandma, it may be grandpapa, it may even be your adventurer teacher to wish her a happy birthday. So this is how you possibly do it, okay? Just gonna get my phone. Bring, 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 bring. I'm calling Pastor Dionne, and he's gonna be picking up shortly.
Hello, hello.
Hello, Pastor Dionne. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
We just want to wish you a happy birthday, all from Glasgow Church.
Oh, that is so beautiful. Thank you so much, guys.
And I hope you have a blessed day.
I'm sure I will. Thank you, guys.
All the best. Bye.
Bye-bye.
It might not be as, like what I just did. I'm just making it up. But it's just for you to be kind and to be mindful that there may be other people listening on that line, especially we're living in a digital age, and we just got to be really careful, okay? Even when you're making a telephone call to your friends, yeah? You got to be a bit careful and make sure, again, when you're using your mobile phones, not to be saying unkind words, because sometimes when we use unkind words, it can hurt people's feelings. And when we also use unkind words, we could be deemed a bully, and that's not very nice. And, there are quite a few of us who maybe been met with unkind words through cyberbullying, and that's not very nice. So when we're using our mobile phones or the phone at home like this one, we could possibly make a phone call like this. I'm going to pretend I'm talking to someone by the name of Georgia. And I'm going to pretend Georgia, in fact, I'm going to pretend my friend is Dionne. Hello, Dionne, how you doing? Well, he's got his, Dionne, you need to unmute yourself.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
So he's now on with us again. Okay, hi, Dionne, how you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How are you doing?
Hey, not too bad. How's the weather over there?
The weather
in Australia.
The weather is all right at the moment. Quite sunshine.
Oh, we got sunshine over there? Man, long time no see.
That's right. That's right. I don't travel as much as I used to do.
Yeah, well, good to catch up. We'll talk soon, okay?
All right.
Okay, then, bye.
Bye-bye.
Now, that might be very adult-like, but when you're talking to a child now, it might be a little bit like this. Presume I'm speaking to someone by the name of Bunny. Hi, Bunny. How you doing? Bunny might then say, well, I'm fine. And I might say, how you doing over lockdown? He might say, well, I'm a bit bored. Well, hey, guys, I've been having a fun time with the BUC, and guess what we've been doing? And the person then responds, well, what have you been doing? What have you been up to? We've been doing some fun awards on Saturdays. Would you mind joining us? Oh, well, I'll try. And you possibly share that information with them, and then you say something like, okay, listen, I gotta go, bye. Something like that, right? You have your own conversations, no doubt, all right? So I'll give you a chance to do that when you're in your own space and time. So we'll just move. Dionne has demonstrated very nicely, so I'm going to move on very quickly just to sort of say, when answering a phone, one of the key things I found that works, and even my husband was saying to me, smile. Let me see you all smile. I can't see any smiles on your faces. A good smile is a good morning. So the good morning comes with a nice smile, not like good morning. That's kind of like a dull one. Or if you say good afternoon or hello, some little pump in your smile in your talking. So let's discuss. Why would you think it's polite? Let's get some feedback on the chat. Why would you think it's important for us to be polite when we answer the phone or when we use these simple phrases to speak on the phone?
Yep. So Dionne, we'll give you those answers soon. If you go to the next point, and then we'll feed you that as the answers come through, if that's all right.
Okay, whilst that's coming through, I'd like to take you through another thing. When someone's not available on the phone to speak to you, you may then say, they're not available right now. Would you mind calling back, please? Thank you. Bye. Is that all right, guys?
Yep.
So we're going to now take turns in taking messages. This one might be a little bit tricky because you may not be able to spell everything that someone's going to give you. So I'm going to just talk you through it using my practice device calling my telephone. So this is how it goes. May I take a message, please? Who's calling, please? Can I have your name? Would you mind spelling it, please? Because it's a bit difficult for me. Thank you. And can I have your telephone number, please? Thank you. I'll pass the message on. Bye.
That sounds like I was calling when people need me to spell my name. But thank you so much, Dionne. That's an excellent example of taking the message. And in all of this, we just need to remind our adventurers, especially not to give too much information over the phone at all, especially if somebody asks, if you're, more personal questions. And certainly, I would be, alerting my parents as quickly as possible if somebody did that. So
Yes,
make sure, guys, you're safe.
Definitely. All right, thank you for that, Dionne. Thank you for that. Okay, so now that we're finished with that, I'm going to sort of take the message, which I think we have, but obviously be careful in how we do that. Sometimes even when someone may be at home and you may want to practice finding out who is on the call just to make sure you're speaking to a person who is safe enough for you to speak to. So you may say it this way. May I ask who's calling, please? Okay, I'll see if the person's available. Now I'm going to leave you to practice at home. I'm going to take up my phone and expect you to all say this in your own homes, but not live. May I ask who's calling, please? Your turn. I'll see if I can get her for you. Thank you. You may even want to say, please may I ask who's calling? Well done, guys. Now let's practice when the person is unavailable. Or should I say available? Someone such as Dionne, who we can see, he's available. So we'll say something like, just one moment, please. I'll see if the person's available. You may decide to go and say something slightly different. Just a moment, please. I'll get her for you. Kindly hold. If the person then comes, you may then say, here she is, and you pass the phone over. So you can practice that at home, but the key thing in answering the phone is greet the person nicely, find out who's speaking. If you're able to get them to spell their names, take it down correctly. Always write down the messages, especially the phone numbers, making sure the digits are correct. It's no hard and fast way of taking the numbers down, but there's a particular way of taking the numbers down in the order that the person gives it to you. Why? Because if we take it down wrong, then it means the person who's expected to make that call cannot make that call because a digit may be wrong. So you may decide to reflexively ask of them to say or repeat again the number, and then repeat their number. For example, you may say, may I please repeat the number just to make sure I've got it correct? And you may say 0208 356 5678. Is that correct?
How did you know how did you know my number, Dionne?
Oh, that's telepathic. But you know what? Courtesy is important. That's why I just thought I'd just share it. Okay, so in short, courtesy is important. And attention to detail when it comes on to courtesy is important. So let's have a little talk. How would you feel if someone talked to you and talked about your friend and then turned their back on you? How would you feel if someone was using good manners and pushed you out the way so that you get a seat, or they get a seat rather, where you're about to sit? I know some of you may think, sad, upset, disappointed, even when the door may be slammed in your face as you're about to walk through it. That's quite disappointing. Upsetting for some. You may have shared things with someone who's never shared anything with you before. Or you may have said please and thank you, and someone's never ever said please or thank you to you. Or you may have taken the message but never passed it on. Or could it be that someone took a message for you and didn't pass it on? How would you feel? That's why demonstrating good manners is about you walking past an adult and you saying good morning, good afternoon, or you borrowing something, you saying, please may I borrow your comb, please may I borrow your watch, please may I borrow your calculator, thank you for lending me your calculator. It may involve waiting for your turn to speak, and you may raise your hand in class until it's your time to speak, or you may wait patiently and then you speak. Someone might be carrying something very heavy, and you may choose to offer, please may I assist? And when the person has received your assistance, you may expect them to say, thank you very much for helping. What if they didn't say thank you very much? Demonstrating good manners means, to us, in courtesy, respecting our own and other people's property as if it were our very own. So in short, courtesy in practice is doing all these things and making a difference and being a different person by sharing courtesy as an award, not to be kept to ourselves, but to share it nicely. So I've got a few guys that I like to say good morning to, and I'd like to say to a few guys good afternoon to, because there are different people joining all over, and I just want to say thank you for sharing. And for those out there, I'm going to lift my hand and say high five to those out there. High five. Yeah, good to have you, and nice to share your lovely manners with us today. Now, I've got another slide here which I'd like you to help me with. I'm just going to turn slightly to it. And here, I'd like to share you to share with me at home how you get along with doing some of these. What would you, or you could put it in your notes, what should you say if you walk in front of someone? Could you just write those notes for us very quickly? What should you say if you walk in front of someone?
All right.
From the list.
Everybody, you have a moment, write it down in the comments. What would you say if you just walked in front of somebody?
From the list on my right-hand side, choose one of these. Just write it down. Well done.
Oh, okay. Some people are saying sorry.
Okay.
Some people, I'm sorry, are you okay? Some people are saying, excuse me. Others are saying, so which one would you say, Dionne?
Right. So when we are perhaps, it may be an accident, you didn't realize someone was there. I'm sorry, please excuse me. Okay? So both could be used together.
Okay, next.
Now, letting someone use something you are, you're using is called what? Letting someone use something you are using is called, I need a word out there that's along that list.
Yeah, and maybe you need to do it yourself a little bit because we only have about 15 more minutes. So what is it?
Okay, so we're sharing. That's what we're all doing. We're sharing courtesy.
That is
so
right.
We'll share and we'll say, okay, we'll let you have a go. So we're just about winding up now. So I'll let you have a little practice of this at home. And you may want to think, for example, when you receive something, you say, thank you. And if your parents ask you to do something, you will show them that respect. So in sharing courtesy, if you make someone else upset or sad, you say, I'm sorry I made you upset. It was not intentional. So when we use our manners, we listen to others while speaking. We also raise our hands when we speak. We also think of others and do not kind things. We look for opportunities to share with others. And we keep our feet where they belong. We don't use them to kick anyone because that's not nice, is it? We use our feet to wait our turn. So together today, we explained what courtesy means, didn't we, Dionne?
Yes, we did.
Recited what the golden rule is. And let's say it again. Do unto others as we'd have others do unto us. So, and we've demonstrated some good table manners. We've used our napkin nicely. We've wiped our mouths. We haven't talked with the food in our mouths. We made sure we covered up our mouths and we don't chew so that everyone can see our mouth. We use some very good telephone manners like, hello. We've also used some good telephone manners such as, Mr. Brown is not available at the moment. Could you call back later? Thank you. Bye. So courtesy is using good manners, considering other people's feelings and being kind, that type of person whom everybody would like and everybody would respect. So using good manners, we do say please, we do say thank you, we do say please wait, or you wait your turn. We also be kind to others. We say we're sorry when you're using courtesy. We share with others. So when we actually do use our manners, we are being a good friend. We do not yell. We help others. We cover our mouth when we sneeze. Yeah. We greet others by saying hello. We do use our please and thank yous. Please may I? Thank you for letting me have. And we raise our hands when we're in class or when we are choosing not to interrupt. We clean up our mess or we assist in cleaning up the environment. We take turns. And we're careful with tools. No one likes to use the tool in the wrong way. And when we're a good listener like you all are today, we know we can follow the rules by being safe online and we're not interrupting when others are speaking. Also, we stand in a queue like you did. You waited in a queue just before you joined this session. So I just want to thank you all for being so good at listening and to use your good manners. So before you leave, I want you to take the Courtesy Award on your sleeve. And I want you to wear it on your sleeve. And remember, good manners takes you all around the world because you're a champion. You deserve to have a medal. The more you practice, the better you get at it. Thank you so much for being so great an audience. Dionne, I think that's all I have for you today.
Thank you so much, Dionne, for teaching our Courtesy Award. We have a few more minutes, and for everybody there who was watching, I just want us to, if it's possible, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing the screen, and then I'm going to just unmute everybody. So let's give a big clap to our presenter, not because she needed or she wanted, but because I think that's the one way for us to say thank you.
Thank you.
Good job, guys. Give yourself a clap. You've done so well.
We learned so much in this lesson. Thank you, everybody.